Hello dear friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm just gonna give you a big ol' update on my life, talking about my New Year's resolutions, my plans, and all of the reading goals that I have not updated you on since November. I'm so sorry about that. I really have no excuse other than I've been lazy. Actually, I do have an excuse. My excuse is I did film a video and I may either refilm it or it'll be up sometime soon, talking about my 2025 5-star reads, and I had a great time and I have recorded it almost twice, but in post-production as I'm editing it, I remembered that with the new phone and camera I have right now, color grading makes me want to throw myself off a roof. So I've honestly just been procrastinating on that, and truly that is something I have to suck up and do because I enjoy making these videos and I miss talking to you guys, and I feel like you're all gonna run away if I don't give you guys new updates. So I'm here to just give you an easy, fun video where we can catch up on everything. I've had a lot I wanted to share, a lot I've been planning for the new year, but I think I'm just gonna yap to you guys. So buckle in, grab a coffee, whatever, we're just gonna talk. So as you guys can see, my room is a horrendous mess. It is a horrendous mess. And again, more reasons as to why it's taken me so long to just suck it up and make a video and edit the video and everything and all these things, despite me really wanting to talk to you guys, is the winter. A lot of you guys may or may not know about the tool fog that lifts and settles into the Valley of California every year, and how this year was, I believe, the longest the tool fog has stayed around. Essentially, it made my town cosplay Britain, and it was so foggy and it was so sad, and while there was still light, it was very gloomy. And while I can appreciate a good gloomy day, unfortunately, your girl needs her vitamin D, and for a very, very long time, hold on, my dog is coming. Anyhow, about the tool fog, it was very, very cloudy and sad, and I felt like I couldn't do anything, and it was really upsetting. But now it feels like spring, and I know it's not spring. Actually, the winter equinox had just passed like a week or two ago. And, again, I think late winter, early spring is coming, despite, well, I don't think I'm gonna visit the snow in California this year. So in my head, everything is slowly morphing into spring. It's a new year, and a big part of why I really struggle with New Year's and kind of reinventing myself, the rebranding, which I don't really care for. It doesn't feel like a new birth, if that makes sense. I wish, and this makes no sense, and from that one quote, it only makes sense in my head, so I'm really not going to explain it that well, is that with the new year, I wish we celebrated New Year's like in the spring when there's an actual new birth, but that literally makes no sense. I can't change the calendar, and like obviously in other countries and other parts of the world, it wouldn't be spring for them. So this is just me complaining about how the winter doesn't really feel like the best time to reinvent yourself and bring in new habits when everything's sad and gloomy, but the spring feels perfect for that. I love spring. I love when it's just still cool and breezy with the winter and all that such, and it's so lovely. And really right now, I work later tonight, but I need to get this room cleaned, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna clean my room. And actually, I've decided, I'm gonna show you guys my dog real quick, because he's in a very handsome Valentine's Day sweater, despite it still being January. Pixel, say hello. Oh, why is your fur like that? Oh. This is my dog, Pixel. He's very handsome. He's ready for the Valentine's season, and I am as well, if you can't tell with the pink. I'll put him back over there. I've decided I'm just going to talk to you guys about the books I've read so far in this year, which I've only read 2, and part of me feels so slow, except I assume many of you guys are readers who are watching my channel, because that's kind of the people I'm trying to attract here, in my little corner of the internet, but I feel so ridiculously behind. It's January 15th when I'm filming this, and I know, once again, for many of us who maybe haven't read a book yet but are planning and know that you're going to read a book sometime this year, if you have read one book, at least for America, you are above the average of readers. I forget the proper statistics, but I know like if you've read one book, you've read more than a lot of Americans. So it's really just a stupid mental game. I've only finished one book and I've been kind of not book slumped, but more so, here, let me grab it real quick actually. The current read that I have right now is Una Out of Order by Margarita Montemor. That's a lovely name. My dog's playing with this toy, hold on. You're just gonna listen to the noise. Anyways, I saw this book at my local secondhand bookstore and it has been plaguing my mind. So I finally picked it up and I was like, okay, despite all the books I want to read, this one has been like in my head, so I'm gonna read it. And I'm just not as interested in it, or I don't know, I'm not as in love with it as I hoped I was. I guess that's just kind of on me for having expectations. But Una Out of Order is about this woman who is essentially a time traveler, and every year on her birthday, which is January 1st. See, do you understand why this has been like gravitating in my head given the New Year's? Her birthday is on New Year's Day, so January 1st. So every New Year's Eve she usually like celebrates and such like that. But the year she turns 19, she's having a party with her friends, her boyfriend that she loves. She's in a band and she's kind of stressed out about the future because she doesn't know whether to choose her band or to choose schooling, and it's this entire like little dilemma she has. But when she wakes up the next day, she is 51, I believe, is the first leap that she has. And essentially she leaps every single year into a new body. It's her own body, but she is completely out of order in terms of how old she is. So spoilers, kind of, I don't think this is really going to ruin anyone's reading experience, is she starts from 19 and then she becomes 51 and now she is 27, and that's how far into the book I am. I am 131 pages in and it's enjoyable. It's a lot of fun. But if I'm being honest, I've just been too lazy to tab anything, and not even lazy, there's just nothing that's really standing out to me, even though I know there's a lot to probably take from this book. But I think this book is more of just like a fun, entertaining thing rather than like an entire, like a big thought-provoking novel to read. And that's not a bad thing. It's a lot of fun, except I feel so bad because it's not that I'm forcing myself to pick up the book, but I feel very groggy to pick up the book, if that makes sense. Like I'm like, oh, I do want to find out what happens next, but also there's not a lot of momentum, if that makes sense. But it is an entertaining book, I will say that. I do believe it's going to be one of my favorite books of all time. Oh my gosh, my little bookmark is falling out. I've been using... What is this? I have been using one of those tags that you rip off of stuff. I don't know what it's called. But I should just find it. I had tabs assigned for this because I love tabbing all of my books regardless of how deep it is. I'll even tab romance books to just share like, ooh, this made my heart flutter. But I'm just not super interested, if that makes sense. And a total side note is I feel horrible with how much I've bent the spine. I'm not an anti-spine bender. I just feel horrible because I loved... The reasons why I picked up this book is, one, January 1st, coming of age story, but it's all out of order, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to read through, but also because I loved the sizing of this. I believe I've seen this book in Barnes & Nobles, but it was just so big and hefty, or it was a hardcover, and this being so small is just perfect for my reading experience. I love small, compact books, but I feel horrible, like I've bent the spine so much just on these pages alone, and I want to even it out. I digress. The red it's also red up here, which I have no hatred for. It's just that whoever owned this, I believe it says Nina? Can you guys see? It was someone's name before this. I digress. This is the current read that I have. It's not gonna be a favorite, but I do enjoy it, and I am kind of just chucking through it. But that's this read. But as for the first book that I actually read of 2026, I picked up, and I got Barnes & Noble's, I got a gift card. I picked up Orlanda by Jacqueline Harpman, which is the same author as Who Have Never Known Men, and I love that book. I believe it's translated from French, but she's Belgian. Am I correct? Whatever. This makes me want to learn French because I already went to Paris for a bit over the summer, and I took French back in high school, but I only know like parler français? Petit peu. But you know, like it's not good French, but truly I think a big motivation besides traveling back to France to enjoy the place again is to learn how to read in French, because Jacqueline Harpman only has 2 translated books right now, and I know she has more, and I would love to read them because this 5 stars. This was a wonderful way to start off the year, and I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to tell you all about it. It's my little book review on Orlanda. Orlanda follows the story of a 30-something-year-old professor who is reading Orlando by Virginia Woolf, which I haven't read, and this makes me want to read it as well. I tried finding it, I couldn't. And she's reading Orlando for her class, and she's just not really getting it. She doesn't really care for it, and she's sitting on the subway, and she's like, man, I would love to just switch bodies with someone. I think that'd be fun. And she wills it. She wills it, and she sees this handsome 20-year-old man, and she splits her conscience unknowingly into this man, and it's an entire story. It's kind of a retelling. Again, I haven't read Orlando by Virginia Woolf, so I only can tell you the plot of that and how similar they are through what is told in this book, but it's really lovely. It's lovely. A lot of the comparisons that it has between Orlando, from what I believe and what is said in this novel, is in Orlando, Virginia Woolf's version, it's a big metaphor for puberty, and it's not meant to be taken literally because it's a body swap. I believe a man becomes a woman in Orlando, and it's kind of them blah 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 blah, and with what I believe is in that novel, it's a big metaphor for puberty and how, Orlando was never actually a boy at all, but it's them growing into their womanhood. Whereas Orlando, as much as it could be a puberty thing, and I'm sorry if this seems like spoilers. I don't think it's really much of a spoiler. This is how I pitched it to my friends as well, is in Orlando, the split conscience between this 30-year-old woman, I believe her name is Aileen. Her conscience gets split. She isn't aware of it, but herself in that body is aware, and she's also not just herself. It is the 12-year-old soul in a 20-year-old body with the mind of a 30-year-old woman. And it's really, really interesting because it's more of an exploration of the parts of ourselves that we kind of hide away, that we kind of push away because of said trauma or because of just the way we've grown up. And it's the part of ourselves that we're hiding. Again, it's less of puberty in my mind, but definitely more of just like childhood whimsy and love and ambition and things that we're holding ourselves back from. And it's, besides the overall greatness of the story, I especially love the writing. I really adored the writing. I believe the translator by Ross Schwartz, they did amazing. Ross Schwartz. They did fabulous. This book was so entertaining. It was so comedic and funny. There were a lot of quips where it's set in third person, and then she would kind of pull herself back out and be like, oh my gosh, we're not gonna do that. And it was just overall really comedic. I enjoyed the read, not just because of the big, deep thoughts that it made me think, but also just because it was hilarious. It was a lot of fun. And overall, the characters felt so real and so alive and so dramatic and silly. And I felt like the narrator also understood that, like, okay, we're talking about this, but we're gonna go back to what you actually care about because I rambled on. And it's just so funny and so quippy, and this is definitely like a new 5-star read. I am a Harpman fan, officially. It's amazing. But those are the books that I've read so far. Let's see how far I get into Una Out of Order. But I could ramble about this for so long. I really loved it. Anyways, besides all the books I'm reading, I actually have more things that kind of still contain books and such. And I'm going to talk about all my New Year's resolutions, but I don't want to frame them as New Year's resolutions in the sense that I'm going to try this out for the new year and I'm going to dump it next year. I want these things to be what I hold on to and what I continue to make my habits. I just kind of want to share them with you because I think it's a lot of fun, given that I assume the people that watch my videos are in the same mental space vibe that I'm looking for with life. But when it comes to reading and such, I have decided I'm gonna use it to make money, and not through YouTube, no, which is nice as well. But I have decided that I don't know who I saw this from, if I'm being completely honest. I think I got this through TikTok osmosis, but I really suck with finances, but I do enjoy giving myself a little treat. And while I need to hunker down on all the stereotypical things like save money, you don't need to buy every single day, because it is embarrassing that I like the past year, I find that I spend money, even if it's a little bit, every single day on something. I've decided, besides that, I'm going to give myself money every time I finish a book. And this might change over time because I realize that with my bank and ATMs, I can't ask for $5 bills. But what I'm doing is that for all the books that are over 250 pages, I will give myself $20. If I read books under 250 pages, there's something in my eye. Oh my goodness. Books under 250 pages, I will be giving myself $10. And then for mangas, comics, and audiobooks, I will give myself $5. That being said, I've already made $20 because I read the 10th volume of Freeren, Journey's End, which I'm very excited for. And I've also listened... Oh no, that's it. That's it. I have $20 because doesn't give me $5s. So I might change that and make those $10 as well. Maybe make bigger books $25. I'm not too sure. I'm really not sure. But it is fun, and I think it is helpful because I calculated all of the books and audiobooks, and not even including the comics that I read last year, I would have made $500 plus just by the amount of books that I've read. And I think that's really great. And I think that's something that a lot of people, if you have the means to, it would be a fun way to not only track the books you've read, but also save money. Because admittedly, I don't always write reviews for the mangas that I read, because with Freeren, I think it's a phenomenal series, but I'm not going to write a review for every single volume that I read. I fear that it's also a lot harder to kind of show those reviews on YouTube the same way the rest of the books are, even if it is series, because manga's a volume. Oh my gosh, manga volumes extend very long. Same with comics and stuff, just also because I feel that I'm not as well read on comic books with DC and Marvel, even though I have gotten into them because of my other friends. They're not really my big niche, and they have plenty to say about Batman the White Knight, but I just enjoyed the plot, the story, and the art, and that's all I gotta say about it. So with all of that said in mind, I'm saving money through reading. Other things and smaller things that I want to share just for the sake of, let's see if Karol continues this on the internet, is one of my goals is no cavities, which is silly, but it also is so obvious. I am excluding any cavities that might have started in 2025, but I'm hoping this year I have no cavities, because admittedly, as a grown woman, I get at least a cavity a year. And that's not very cool. I need to take better care of my teeth. I've also been very obsessed with flossing, which I hope is something that I carry on for the rest of my life, because flossing is kind of fun. It's kind of fun. I also saw a thing where it was like, oh, would you leave that rotisserie chicken out for one day, 24 hours, for a week? Yeah, if you're not flossing, that's rotting outside the same way it is in your mouth, and that scared me. That did scare me. So I'm doing better with flossing. Along with making drinks and all of the things that us girls and everybody enjoys with their sweet treats, is I'm going to try to not do any large drinks, only mediums, and no add-ons except for like milks. And yes, yeah, those are some of my goals. I had more. Let me think. Let me find it. Oh, another thing. I don't even need to open it. I completely remember just by holding my little journal, excuse you, Pixel, is one of my other goals as well was I want to develop a proper morning routine. I really suck at this. I suck at this because I just love sleeping so much. But one of the things I really want to do is make 9 a.m. like sleeping in. Like I want to wake up early so often that I think waking up at 9 a.m. is me sleeping in. And not to say that I won't allow myself to sleep in at all, and that's kind of impossible. Your girl needs her sleep. Sometimes I work closing shifts and I won't be back home till like 2 a.m., won't sleep till 3. I'm not gonna force myself to wake up at 6 a.m. That's horrid. That's horrible unless I have something to do that day. But I do want to get in the mentality of waking up at like 7, 8 a.m. I might have an 8 a.m. class, we'll see. But I want to wake up so early, so consistently that I think that 10 a.m. and 9 a.m. are early waking up, or no, are late wake ups rather than like a regular wake up, if that makes sense. I'm also, it's so frustrating too, because whenever I do wake up and I want to read, I no phone, no screens for at least an hour once I wake up and once I go to bed. I'm doing better with that as well. I want to be able to choose an activity for that morning that goes along with my morning routine, and I'm kind of implementing that right now with breakfast. I'll wake up and I'll bring the book I'm reading, and I'll make my breakfast, have some coffee, and as I'm eating, I'll also read. But that kind of depends on the food that I'm eating. Or maybe I'll do yoga. Yoga's a lot of fun to do in the morning. Stretching is so important for us. Or I will try to journal right away. If not, I have been getting better at journaling consistently, at least multiple times a week. Not every day, because that's a little much. Even if it's whatever. I think you guys get where I'm coming at. I'm not gonna explain myself because I understand it. And what I'm sharing with you guys is not mandatory. This is just because I want to share it. Oh, yes. But I really hope I can develop a better morning routine. I've gotten better with my nightly routine where no matter what, whether I got home early or if I'm super late at night, I will always make sure to take off my makeup, brush my teeth, wash my face, etc., etc. Because admittedly, there were days I wouldn't do all of that because I was so tired from work, or say I just got back from a party. And obviously I want to assume many of us are guilty of this, but I want to assure that no matter what, no matter how groggy I am, I will take care of my face and my body before I go to bed. But yeah, those are a lot of my New Year's resolutions / forward resolutions for the rest of my life that I hope to keep. We'll see. But yeah, that's a lot of fun. I do also want to share some things that I didn't get to share with you guys over from last year. Is at my school, every semester they have a pottery sale from all the pottery students, and I bought this lovely little cup. I thought about using it for my espresso, but I already have enough things to put my espresso in, and I've decided to put my money in it. Oh. And I also have this beautiful bowl, and it looks like a seashell. And I guess I'll take out all my trinkets that I've kept in here. I put all of my rings and like my hair clips and such in here. Give me a sec. Let me put what I can't put on my hand. Ooh. Is this beautiful bowl. I'm really in love with like handmade ceramics. It's a little funky, a little wabi-sabi. It has some nicks, little crooks on the side. So maybe I can use it for incense, but I don't really use incense, but it was a thought I had. But I put all my little trinkets in here. I also got this lovely Italian charm bracelet at a thrift. Or no, we have this little thrift thing that happens every single Saturday, I believe. Every Saturday there's this pop-up thrift shop, not thrift shop, but like vendor shop, and I got this lovely bracelet, if my camera will focus. Lovely, with only one little charm in it, so hopefully I can find more charms. I don't know where I would, if I'm being honest. Oh, and I will be reserving a proper video on my 2026 journaling ecosystem. I feel like it's finally time. I've had so many comments about it saying, oh my gosh, you should do it regardless, even if you don't have your entire thing figured out. But I think I have my journaling thing figured out. So expect that video sometime. We'll see where it is. But my room is clean now. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and thank you for everybody who tuned in last year. It really is lovely to know that people don't hate the sound of my voice and that they enjoy the content that I make, even if it's not super artistic and even if it's just me sitting down talking to you guys. I want to make sure that I pump out more good work this year. I want to make sure that I give it my all and that you guys keep enjoying it. So a long ramble for the new year, but happy 2026, good tidings and good year to all of us. I will see you all in another video. Goodbye. Love you.